Hopefully this is something. We don't know. This is TFP live stream sans.
Are we live?
Ground support. I think so.
We're
gonna see ground control. This is Major Tom. Let us know. Please let us know if we have any issues. We need an adult. Send help.
We
okay.
got 4. Looks like some people
This looks like something here. Hello. It's just me and Pat tonight.
We have no producers, nobody behind the cameras.
Boom, that goes. Can we make that big?
That does that.
Let's see. Leave some comments so we can. Is the audio good? Let's see here. Are there comments? Where can I see a comment? Are there comments? Hopefully we can read your. Oh, is it because I'm not signed in on here?
Yep.
I don't want to.
All right. So while Brandon does that, let me talk about some business for you guys. We have 2 sponsors for tonight's show. Just like always, we have our friends over at Arms Preservation Inc. You know all about their vapor corrosion inhibitor technology if you're a regular watcher of the show. Otherwise, they make a great line of products. Again, Arms Preservation Inc. APIgunbag.com. Go check them out. They have a complete line of products for preserving everything from ammunition to handguns to shotguns and your AR pattern rifles, whether they are now classified as SBRs, also known as pistols, right? What? Or if you have a 20-inch M16 pattern rifle. Brandon signed in. All right, we sound good. Josh is here. Yes, Josh got into ORD. That's fantastic, buddy. I'm glad to hear it. Also, thank you for joining us tonight. So, API Gun Bag, guys, check them out. Also, our friends over at Beyond Driven Fitness and Performance in Leroy. I drove by there just yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to stop in. But when I do, I'm never disappointed because they have the best fitness equipment. They have 24/7 access. They have fitness classes for anybody and everybody. Go and check them out. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and they would love to chat with you and answer any questions you have or get you signed up for a membership. So go and check out our friends at Beyond Driven Fitness and Performance in Leroy, New York. Awesome.
Yes.
So we are live. We got almost a bunch of people, almost a bunch, right? And we have nobody here but us tonight,
it's just us. We're flying solo.
Which is how that hat made the wardrobe.
Yeah, Tyler would have been like, get that fucking thing.
Tyler would have been. No, I guess he allowed that shit last week. So.
I noticed that I have like a theme of a different hat every stream, or like weird hats or whatever.
Okay,
so I'm rolling with it.
No, why not?
I'm rolling with it.
Do your thing. Okay, so we definitely have Nate. We do need some barbecue, brother. We would love to support what you guys are doing and also shove food into our mouth holes.
That would be nice.
So we got a lot of people saying hi. We also have a question about I do want to clarify something on this. This isn't actually a shockwave. I mean, what's the difference?
It's darn close.
In reality, but it doesn't have a bird's head grip, right? It has an actual traditional like pistol grip. It is a Maverick 88. It's the cruiser version. So this is what 8 round tube.
Oh, sorry.
No.
It's probably 7 or 8.
I think it's a 7 round tube with one in the chamber, and I can't see now who asked the actual question, but it's $274.99.
Yeah. So the thing with this, the way this is legal, is it has an 18-inch barrel, 18.5-inch barrel actually.
Correct.
And you could, if you wanted to, put a stock on this.
Right.
Whereas with the Shockwave, not okay. You could not do that. That was a very specific, other non-shotgun, weird thing, right? And the Shockwave was obviously banned in New York State. This is legal in New York State.
Yes.
You do need to be 21 to buy it.
Right.
Because it's a pistol grip. It's sold as a pistol grip only.
Yes.
But it is not the Shockwave. It is legal. We've got a bunch of these, and they're good to go. And they're only $275,
which is a great price. The only caveat on these that I didn't hear you mention, B, is you do have to be 21 years of age in order to purchase this guy.
Be 21.
Now, a little clarification though is needed on this guy here, right? Because this is a very similar shotgun. Let me just do what I got to do here. So this is a very similar shotgun, right? It's Mossberg, which is same company, right? Same company as Maverick, but this one here is the Flex, and so it does have the ability here to change the stock or remove it, and then you could have just a grip if you wanted. Now, this one, if I wanted to buy it, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't need to buy this. Excuse me. I don't need to be 21 in order to purchase this shotgun.
Correct. And I was going to say that, we all know that all gun laws in this country are based on nice, solid, sound logic and just good factual, thought-based processes, right? No. There's nothing stopping an 18-year-old from buying a fully sized Maverick 88 with the stock,
a 590,
right, and then putting that pistol grip on it.
Correct.
There's nothing stopping an 18-year-old from owning this gun. They just can't buy it from the dealer.
Right.
Like this. So stupid.
So
very dumb.
Just so that everybody's clear, we have another really good question here that I don't want to let get away.
Yeah.
So I think you should probably go ahead and hit that.
Ahmed, are we open this Sunday? You betcha. You betcha, buddy. We will be here. This is the first Sunday that we're opening back up after the pandemic. It's been like 3 years since when we first opened. We were open on Sundays all the time. And then during the pandemic, when we were forced to shut down by the state, when we reopened, we just kind of didn't have the staffing, and we weren't sure if the demand would be there. And that's kind of gotten us to now. And there's been a heck of a lot of demand, and a lot of people want us to be open on Sundays. And yes, there are some training. There's actually training this Sunday.
There is, yeah. So I was gonna try to pop in there at some point later on.
Yeah.
So a little caveat on that, Ahmed. There is gonna be a class going on later in the day, right? So what are the hours So
Sundays are going to be noon till 7 for right now. Range closes at 6:30, but this Sunday, and there will be Sundays, we're going to put it out there. This is more for the store to be open, the retail side of the store, and the range will be open when it can be open, but we have groups like RAFA, the Rochester African American Firearms Association. They do classes, and they do range days primarily on Sundays. Pat does classes on Sundays because that was a day that the range was open. We do have some things in the works to alleviate that. That's going to be definitely down the road. If this proves popular, maybe say 2024, we might have more lanes available. I'll just put it like that. If things go the way we'd like to. But yes, we will be open this Sunday from noon to 7. The class will take over the range probably, 4? 3? 5?
1.
Yeah. So the class will be in there a good chunk of the day.
Yeah. So that was what I was going to say is like if the range is going to be open in the morning, so we'll have to figure out logistically how we're going to shuffle some stuff around.
We want to work on a better part of our website where you can check the status of that easier than say going to Facebook or whatever. Kind of almost like how the ski resorts have, like, what are the conditions like right now? Like, hey, is TFP open today? Like, yeah. Or, hey, the range is only going to be open from noon till 4 today, or noon to 3, or whatever. Right. Definitely the store will be open, and we're going to rock and roll from there.
100%. So I will be here, Ahmed. I'll be here all day, and the whole time we're open.
And that it is kind of coincidental that the first Sunday we're open, Pat has a class. You probably only have classes on Sundays like that, maybe once a month, we'll say.
Yeah, something like that. I'm only scheduled right now out until I think the last class is next month.
Sure.
That's on so we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do about getting new stuff on the calendar for next quarter, and
we might adjust the class times a little bit.
We're flexible, you know what I mean? We got to figure out where everybody's at.
Do we do gunsmithing on AK platforms? I'm gonna say no. Only, the stuff that we can do to an AK, I don't want to say anybody could do, but we're not gonna get into fixing a rivet. I don't know, or what's some AK gunsmithing? It's
changing out a gas block for like one of the adjustable ones or something. No, there's really not a lot we can do.
It's tough. We do light gunsmithing, I call it. We're trying to get into heavier duty, like full, like machining, basically. But obviously that takes some equipment, that takes some knowledge. That we have guys with the knowledge, and we don't want to just go to Harbor Freight and get junk equipment, you know, for them. We want to make sure we do it right and put out a good quality product. So things are coming down the road, but I would say no right now for
that
AK
Daniel
stuff.
guy. If you know Josiah, that's one of the managers here, I would speak with him if you need some work done on an AK, because he might be able to at least point you in the right direction. He not through here necessarily, but he knows what is going on with AKs more so than probably the rest of us. So yeah, for sure. So my dad is on here. What's up, Dad? Nice to get a comment from my dad, and he just wanted to know what's the best inexpensive home defense carbine. I guess it would depend on a couple of factors. First of all, if you want to shoot, when you say carbine, I want to use 5.56 generally in my carbines. So if you wanted to shoot something in 5.56, I would say best inexpensive. Man, that's tough because I don't like to.
Those two words are tough to put together.
Well, I mean, first of all, everybody's got their own definition of inexpensive, and when we start talking about AR pattern rifles, like a good AR pattern rifle, my rule of thumb is that you're probably looking at around $1,000.
Yeah.
For like something that I would actually like want to like, all right, I'm gonna have this cruiser ready, and it's gonna be my home defense gun, and if I need to rock and roll, then I'll grab this one.
Unless it's like June of 2020, and like cars are being flipped tonight. If you have time to say go from like a $500 or $600 AR, save up to get to that $1,000 AR, well worth it.
Or if you can build a gun, right? Like that's another thing too. Is like building a gun would be another way to go.
Yep, that would be a great way to go. I happen, just because we have it, we've got a nice Smith & Wesson out there. I want to say for $750. That is a pretty nice setup.
That's not bad. A Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2, right?
Yeah, comes with I think was it a Crimson Trace red dot? Or
yeah,
they're
dot on it. Together. Yep. So I would say, for my dad, I would say that probably something like a Smith M&P Sport 2 would be like, or you know what, the Radical guns, I will say they've come a long way. That they used to really not do much for me, but Radical firearms, the RF-15, the quality control, I feel like has really bumped it up a notch. So I think that's pretty good. And then if you're thinking more in the line of some people are going to be thinking more in the line of like a pistol caliber type setup. Or they already have a pistol that's like in a good defensive caliber or whatever. Yeah. So for those people, I would say maybe something like a PC carbine. You know, I find it difficult to recommend any like AR-9 pattern rifle. There's just so many. Yeah. First of all, there's so many of them out there. Yep. But a bunch of them are junk. Yeah, it seems like they really don't work all that well because they're all straight blowback and shit. And
they definitely are a fun range toy, I guess. But I was talking to a buddy of mine, Kevin, today, and he was saying like we were talking about like the new Henry Homesteader, how that looks pretty cool, the 9mm carbine, and he was like, I got a Ruger PC carbine, but it's like, what do you really do with it? You know, if I ever. Like, if it was ever serious enough where I needed an actual carbine...
Yeah, MPX is good.
I want a 5.56.
If you got the money for an MPX, I agree with that for sure.
No to that. Nothing says wrong house like 350 grain, 50 Beowulf. That's...
Fair. No, that's a definite I always game changer.
What is it like? Same thing, like, 50 Beowulf when the bad guy breaks into your neighbor's house across the street behind the fridge, like. Ahmed, so the range is not available this Sunday. It sounds like because the class goes from what 1 till 6, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or
we're gonna
1 to
be
5?
we're gonna be on the range probably no later than 1, and we're gonna be out
Yeah.
there all. It's an all-day class. It's all ladies that are coming out. I'm really excited about this one. This is our ladies only pistol mechanics class. If anybody that wants to sign up, I think we still have 1 or 2 slots available, so you can hit me up. We can talk about that. We can get you in there.
The 26th, I don't believe we have anything scheduled. If I could be mistaken, we'll have to see there. But
26, is that not the pre-permit class?
is there a permit class there? Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not. That's not
It's
an
like
all-day
an
range
hour.
thing. Yeah, we'll be on the range on and off. So yeah, the range will be available on Sunday the 26th.
And like I said, that'll be we can post like almost like a daily or like a weekly. Like, hey, this Sunday range is wide open. I should say this coming Sunday the 19th. The store, the store will be open.
Right.
The range will not be open. I mean, and with a giant caveat too, there might be an opportunity if the class is on a break and you've come in and you just want to test fire 5 rounds through a handgun. We can, we're comfortable with things like
flexible.
that. Like, if it can, if you're in at noon and the class doesn't get in the range till 1 or even 1:30, and you're trying to test out some things, like we can make things happen. But yeah, to just show up at like 2 or 3 just to shoot for fun, this weekend's not going to happen.
But also, if anybody wants to, like, we're gonna be like downrange for the most of the class.
Right.
So if anybody wanted to like come in and like kind of like check out what was,
Sure.
I don't care. Like, I don't mind people coming out and watching what it is that we do in training.
Yeah.
Nothing that we do is like super secret or whatever. And it might be interesting for somebody that's thinking about coming to take a class to at some point come down and.
Ricky here says that his buddy came in and got a lever action from us, and he's not jealous, not one bit at all. And I don't think that's true. I think he is jealous.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a little bit of jealousy going on, Ricky. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Just
man.
a little bit.
That's all right.
Sorry, Austin goes, just finished putting together his Anderson lower he picked up from us. Altogether, $200, I'm assuming, for the lower, and a good upper is $200 to $300, yeah? So, depending,
I would have
maybe
a hard
just
time.
an upper. Maybe not with a BCG.
Depending on where you find it, man. I mean, if you're finding uppers that are priced like that, I need to know where you're doing your shot. Maybe you could post maybe you could post a link in there, and people can check them out.
Man, this is just customer or like staff appreciation night. Joe Connor, I picked up an M9 today. I love it. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank
awesome.
You. Thank you for your business,
Great
man. That's
choice.
Excellent.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments tonight. This is awesome. We had a ton of engagement. Obviously, last week we did a giveaway, so there was a ton. But But
also we had so much stuff up here that we weren't able
we didn't even
to
talk about
get
it.
to.
Yeah,
we
so
weren't
funny.
talking about that.
Joe, our buddy Joe Terzo asked, "What the heck that green thing is?" Why don't you bring that
this
thing
thing
down?
is goofy as hell.
What the heck is that thing?
So the way it was described to me is this is sort of like a takedown pistol caliber carbine. So this one happens to be in 45 ACP.
God bless.
God bless, indeed.
Pat, before you start, how many World Wars is 45 ACP responsible for winning?
2.
At least 2. Yeah, 2 World
All
Wars.
of them.
All the World Wars.
All the ones
Back
so
to
far. Back to back World War champion. So, yeah, this is a 45, and something interesting about it, it looks like kind of an AR pattern setup here in a way. Brandon, can you switch me over? No,
I can't. Yeah,
you have no power here whatsoever.
Nothing. Yeah,
that's all right.
No power here.
It's got like a little cross bolt style safety here.
It's not really an AR
that.
pattern. It's
no, but it
it's
kind of looks
shaped.
like one. Yeah, it's like got a weird
like
vibe.
It's blowback.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's got the spring because it's blowback, right?
And is that actual Picatinny? That's not Picatinny rail. What do you call? Is that Weaver rail? What do you call that?
Yeah, I think that is definitely Weaver
it's like
style rail. Yeah, it's
like
very it's very non-traditional.
Yes. Yeah.
But as far as like this handguard situation going on here, it's really not a whole lot to get your hand to out front.
I was telling Josiah, it reminds me, Colt, we were struggling to think of the model number. It's in the 600s, I want to say, but Colt made, like, for tanks, you could, like, stick the machine gun, like, through a portal. It was, like, built into the tank almost, right?
Sure.
And it was, like, an M16 that you could, for close combat or whatever around the tank or whatever. Jim McGee says it looks like a grease gun on steroids.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
So Joe was making it compliant here so that we could get rid of it.
Yeah,
and
we gotta,
it's got a fin grip on it now. We got to get the thread protector welded, and I think it's going to end up coming just with a naked tube.
Yes, I think we're gonna get some type of something on there, but yeah.
Well, you said it was going to be one of the two. $800 though gets that one. And it will be compliant for whoever wants to buy it. So something like that in 10, I think would be really good.
That would be cool. Then you've got my interest.
Right.
You've got my curiosity. Ahmed wants to know what kind of animal I have on my head today, and I'm pretty sure this is a bobcat.
Yeah.
I actually don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's a bobcat. This one I bought at an auction. Another auction. I used to go to a lot of auctions when I was single. Man, that was what I did.
Just go
just
buy
waste money.
dead stuff.
Just buy dead stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. It says a bobcat. Look at that. Hoots from Hoots Furs Bobcat USA. That's not the way it goes. When I would go to the auctions, they would have these little. No, I can't deliver the blocks. If you ever sell concrete blocks, goddamn.
No, I haven't had to do that
Jesus
yet.
Christ. I would go to these auctions and they would have stuff like this that, like, it would go for like $20, or like opening bid is like $30, and it would just be crickets and no one would want it, and I'd be looking at this sad little kitty and I gotta take him home. He's so cute.
I mean, everybody's got to have a hobby, and so why isn't that more people's hobby?
You have a lovely room of death.
Yeah. What the hell, man? Why not?
Todd says that reminds him of an old paintball gun.
Jeremiah, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, Jeremiah.
Yeah, no, that does kind of look like an old paintball gun. So
we had a lot of people say hello. I'm sorry if we didn't say hello to everybody. We've had a lot of people
I'm trying to catch them like
hello.
here and there.
We've had a lot of comments tonight. Howdy, guys, from Anthony Rotter.
Yeah,
Charlie Burke.
I didn't even see that one. What's up, man?
We got a lot of guys.
Appreciate all of you, everybody. So,
looks like you have curls hanging on the side of your head. Yes.
Kind of. Yeah. So I was hanging out with a friend earlier today, Brando, and the conversation came up. He was like, "Man, I got like $400 and I want to get a new gun. What do you recommend?" And I was like, "I recommend you save up a little bit more money, before you try to buy a gun for, right? Like, I don't know. I don't have a lot of guns, right? But the ones that I have,
I'm with you.
I want to spend a little bit more money, not a lot more money, but I'm spending a little bit more money, right?
And not for the sake of just spending money. You know, it's not like you're getting a Glock that's had a bunch of just like vanity work done to it.
No, I don't have like any agency guns or any shit like that.
Zev, crazy.
No, I don't do anything crazy like that. But I want something, that's going to be, obviously, like, I have specific brands that I kind of gravitate towards more than others.
Sure.
I'm not a brand loyalist per se, but like there are certain ones that are just like out right out of the gate, and then there are specific ones that I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll check that out. And then there's others that I'm like, yes, I want to buy those specific products. But to me, like good handguns that are like reliable. Again, I have like a kind of a threshold that I'm trying to meet, and I generally stay around $600 and up. It seems like it just takes about $600 to get in the door of a new good quality. Now, when I say good quality, I'm talking your.
What's wrong with a vanity Glock? Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Dude, if you can shoot well enough to back it up, then God bless. Like, spend the money. Plenty of my friends have some really nice guns.
Sure.
I got friends that have way too much money to spend on guns.
Or like my head goes to like a Cabot 1911. If you've never heard of those, Google them. Cabot, C-A-B-O-T, like the cheese company. They make
the same guys actually.
They make like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 1911s, and it's not that they're not worth it because they're works of art in their own right. But it's like you're not, you're performance wise, that's gonna shoot just as good as say a $2,000 Nighthawk.
I can't do it. Yeah. I just can't justify it to myself. But I saw this particular gun out there, and for all of you guys out there who are wondering, like, around $400-ish, what would be a good pistol to get in the game? I think the Shield Plus kind of fits that that niche. So this is $449.99. The things that I like about it in specific, first of all, it has metal sights, right? So
That is nice.
with the Glocks that are similar in this category, in this price range, your 48s, your 43Xs, your 42, they all come with plastic sights if you're gonna be at that price range, right?
Right.
So I don't like that, because if you drop the gun, what's the heaviest part? It's the slide.
Sure.
The gun's naturally going to want to turn upside down,
Lands
and
right on
you're
them.
probably going to snap those.
Yeah, it's pretty
things right
common.
up.
It's
I've
pretty
broken
common.
a lot of gun sights, right? So that sucks. The other thing I like about it is it does have a flat trigger here. I've gotten way more into that over time. So that's just a little subjective, and I just want to like be kind of like upfront about that. But it does have, if you live in a free state, 13+1 capacity, which is respectable in a gun this size. And I really like the texture on these M&Ps because they're really easy to kind of get a hold on.
Yeah.
And plenty accurate, plenty reliable, easy to take apart and strip and maintain.
And it's a pretty
do all
solid
that good
price. What,
stuff.
$450, right?
$450.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a gun...
$365, and like the one you'd want, the macro, it's like double the price almost. It's like macro's like $800, isn't it?
Macro is like $799.99. It's a very expensive carry gun, but I mean it's got night sights.
Oh,
You're getting
you are getting, but like you said, kind of if all you had is $400 or $500,
right? If you wanted to spend around $400 and get a decent, like a new pistol, a lot of people, Todd says he loves his Shield. I've been a Shield fan for a long time. I had a 45 Shield as like one of my first guns that I carried, and I've always thought that they were very nice. So
nice. Ricky asked if we offer classes to introduce youth to shooting, and we used to have a venture crew here, which is like it's a part of the Boy Scouts. It's co-ed. I know all of Scouting is co-ed now. Another discussion we can have, but Venture Crew was for youth between 14 and 21. It was nice because they could shoot handguns under supervision.
Sure.
And we had a lot of fun with that. Again, one of those things, I was single. I didn't have a family. I had a lot of free time. As anyone who's been involved in the scouting movement knows, they always tell leaders you only have to donate an hour of your time a week. But they don't tell you it's an hour per scout. So if you have like 20 scouts, you're going to be doing a lot of work every week. And once I had my own family and I had little kids of my own running around, right? I just, unfortunately, it's hard. It's hard to run a scout unit of any kind. So we have talked about trying to get something going back up here with youth, just kind of like doing it on our own, not being a part of any larger like national organization. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I definitely know that there's a need for it. You know, we have to do whatever we can to counter this anti-Second Amendment rhetoric that just gets all the kids get bombarded with, obviously, all the time. But, you know, it is tough, obviously, to just kind of wing it and have your own program, you know. So, what else we got here? I would suggest, so I guess wrapping that comment up, I would suggest just having your kids do like a private lesson, maybe. That would always be permissible.
Yeah.
And there's a lot, you know, New York state law says you have to be 12 years old to shoot a firearm, to shoot a gun of any kind. But there's a lot you can do with BB guns, with pellet guns, with airsoft guns. You know, there's a lot you can do with just a SIRT pistol with youth. So there's a lot that can be done if they're under 12.
Yep.
We allow, and we probably should do a better job of publicizing this, but like, if you have a kid who wants to come here and they're not 12, say they're, I don't care how old they are, 6, 7, 8, 9, doesn't matter. If they have a BB gun, there's no charge. Like, they can come down here, they can have their fun, they can be in the range, they can be with all the other gun owners. Like, if that's what they want to do, bring them here. If they just want to come down and watch, if you're not sure how your kid might react to it, just bring them down, no charge. Have them come. Just stand behind the line there, you know what I mean?
Step in there and check it out.
They can stand next to Cam, the RSO, you know what I mean? I don't know if that, can he be that close to children?
It's got to be some sort of rule.
I don't know. I'm so sorry, Cam. But no, we need the youth to be, you know, as encouraged and involved in the Second Amendment as possible, because that's the future, right?
For sure. We got to get more kids like involved and excited about shooting in general. So we had a really interesting comment up here. Todd said that his wife came and took a class with us for the pre-permit, and he's wondering why I had to tell her that she shoots better than he does. And the reason why, Todd, is because she was holding a gun, my friend. No, the reason why is because she was, you know, out there doing a great job, and I really wanted to keep that confidence up there. And I think with practice that you'll catch her. It's one of these days, Todd.
You'll get there.
You'll get there, buddy. Just keep going.
Yeah. Josh says if he had $400, he would buy a Janik or a Ruger Security 9, but he would try to find a used Glock 19 or a Shield. Yeah, that's always a good bet too. The used market has been interesting, I'll say.
Right.
But that is always, yeah, you know, pick up a Gen 4, even a Gen 3 Glock, you know, for $400 easily, I'd say. So
no, for sure.
Yeah, good stuff. And yeah, Ricky, slide into the DMs anytime, buddy. We'll do our best to answer, and happy to help whatever I can do to further the mission, further the Second Amendment. Brian had mentioned that he picked up a cruiser from us a few weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah, Brett had asked. We kind of answered it, I guess, in just any first 9mm. But yeah, Brett, we have. I think it's 160. I've been meaning to count. Every time I go out there, it seems like the rentals just are multiplying.
Yeah, there's more out there every time. We have
a lot of rental guns. Pretty much any time a new handgun comes out, the first one we get goes right to the rental wall. So that would be the suggestion. Actually, it was kind of funny. I had to get a inspection today. So I just went to the Dunn Tire in Brockport, right next to Runnings.
Right.
And I had the kiddo. So I was walking around Runnings with the little one, and I'm just like in the gun department, just like looking at stuff, you know.
Why not? Yeah.
You know, why not, right?
Anyways.
So I'm like looking at stuff and just seeing what they got and seeing like, okay, they sell these, so there's no point for me to sell them. Like I'll sell something different or whatever.
Sure.
So I'm over there, and I hear the lady at the counter. They're like, you know, there's like a husband and wife, and they're like, well, show me this one, and show me that one, and show me this gun. And then the lady at the counter goes, you know, you really should go to the firing pin and just try these all out. And I was just like, yes! Like, I just wanted to, you know, hey, here's a little tip, lady. Like, thank you.
Well, not only that, but like, in all reality, not to cut other places down or whatever, but like, that's all we do.
Sure.
Right? Like,
right.
We just help people find I mean, that's a big part of the job here.
You know, and like Runnings puts a flyer out, and they might put these out for $1.99 or whatever, and it's like if you know you want one and you don't need any help, and that's the thing, you go get one. And I'm the same. I buy stuff from Runnings. I was there today. I bought stuff.
Sure.
I'm a consumer too, so it is what it is. If you need help, not that they're not knowledgeable, but that's just not what you go to a store like that for.
I don't think it's their like lane, right? I don't think they really have like a lane, right? Like they're there to kind of sell you whatever you know is in stock, and they're trying to answer your questions.
You gotta fix your water heater. You gotta pick up some dog food, and you need some socks.
Yeah, and I'm sure that not everybody that works at the gun counter there is always just behind the gun counter. Donna Earsing asked, "How do we feel about Taurus?" I mean, Donna, I got to be honest with you, they have some really good quality guns that they've made over time. The G3, the Millennium series of pistols.
Yeah. I don't think their revolvers are terrible. You know,
revolver. I think the QC is a little spotty. That's like the biggest knock against Taurus. Is the quality control is a little spotty. So you can get a very good gun. I would say do your research, and I would say like make sure that you buy the gun here.
Marianne was saying that we're freezing, and I wasn't sure. That looks okay, but I wasn't sure if this if my computer.
I saw the word freezing, but I wasn't sure if maybe are you cold? I really didn't know how to interpret that at all because it is cold outside. So I was actually cold here.
Mike asked, "Do we sell used handguns?" We do,
for sure.
Looking for something on a lower price range that's still a good quality gun, and we have them. That's what we do.
Absolutely, we'd be happy to help you.
Jason asked, "Do you need to complete the 18 hours of training required by the state prior to completing the pistol permit application for Livingston County?" I'll be honest, I don't know the finer details. I don't think you have to complete the training before you fill out the application.
I think you can turn in the I think you could like fill out and turn in the application in advance of completing the training, but I think you're not going to get your permit approved until the training is completed.
Correct. And I think the training is valid for 1 year.
Correct.
So you could take the training today,
yes,
have your certificate, go in, fill out all the forms, turn them in, you're good to go. Do it within a year.
That's right.
I think you're also okay to like get the forms, turn them in, and then they say, okay, go take the class, and you do it that way too.
Right.
Because I believe that's how your fingerprinting will be done too. Is you turn all your stuff in, then they tell you how to go get fingerprinted and whatnot.
Right.
So, and that is sort of annoying. Every county is different. They all have their own processes. So I live in Monroe, but I'm traditionally from Genesee County. You know, and my permit's from Genesee County. So, you know, all of that is,
Right.
my knowledge is much more specific to Genesee County. I thought we had one more. What do you have in bolt action or a pump 22? Bolt action, well, we have a nice Kimber Montana up there in 30-06. That's a very lightweight.
He wants a 22.
Bolt action. Oh, he did say or a pump. I read those completely wrong.
John, if you're looking for a bolt gun
know what we have
or a
in 22.
pump 22, I'm not really sure, but I'd be happy to go and take a look. I don't mind.
The downside to this new studio is we're not where the guns are.
So let me go and take a look at that for you real quick.
Sure. What percentage do you take on consignment? We take a 20% cut, which is pretty on par with what the auction houses charge locally and nationally. And yeah, we take a 20% cut. Morgan, I'm waiting on my semi-auto rifle permit application. Laughing, and I don't know what that finger means. He's giving like a thumbs up, like New York State #1, right? That's what that means, right, buddy? New York State #1, Morgan. Good to hear from you, buddy. It's been too long. Yeah, just flying up here solo. I don't know what other questions people have. I'm trying to think. We do have. You're going to keep hearing about it. We've got Freedom Weekend coming up, June 10th and 11th. If you are a business owner or friends with a business owner, or if you're part of some kind of group that might want to be a vendor here, there's no charge for vendors. You can set up and show off what you got, try to, increase your business or increase the knowledge of your group, whatever it is. Come on down, no charge to set up. We are taking sponsorships also. We've got some awesome sponsorship opportunities available. We do have, I would say, several thousand people that come through just on Saturday, and now that it's a Saturday and Sunday event, it'll be even more, I'm sure. We are going to have things for kids. We're going to have a bounce house this year for the kids. And we are going to have a dunk tank, I'm pretty sure. So Tyler's not here to stop me from saying all this stuff. So what else we got here? Thoughts on the Ruger PC9?
Well, first I got to get with John about the bolt action and pump 22.
Sure, yes, please. Go ahead.
John, I'm about to disappoint you, my friend, because we don't have any bolt or pump 22s out there.
Oh, wow.
The only bolt action rimfire that's out there is a 17 HMR Ruger Precision rimfire. So we also have a Henry lever 22 WMR, but that's about all for the rimfire stuff. Just to let you know. Now, as far as the thoughts on the PC9, I think they're pretty neat. I think they're pretty reliable. We have one here on the range that's one of the more popular guns that people come and shoot, and I mean, it does not malfunction very often. They're very accurate, they're easy to use, and they if you get the takedown one, they're pretty neat because you can like take them apart and stuff them in a little bag, and they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I like it.
What do you think about the Zastava M88? And I'll be honest, I had to look it up because I had never heard of that. It's like a copy. It's like a redesign of a copy of a redesign of a Russian TT that's like a Tokarev gun. So it's it's a comm block. They're inexpensive. I'll be honest, I've never cared for like the Tokarev or any of those kind of guns, but they have a cult following.
People that like them really like them,
and they generally sing their praises, and they generally work very well. I've not heard many people, I guess once they get them dialed in, but if you have good ammo, if you treat the gun well, they run. From what I've seen,
I had a person that came and took a class with me using a Tokarev.
Really?
Not the Zastava, but they were using a Tokarev. And it was actually somebody that you know. She's been a regular here for years, Barbara.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, she came and she took a class. And she shot well. I don't think that she... I don't think that the gun choice really helped her out a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I think that she enjoyed herself, and I really enjoyed having her because it was fun. It was fun to shoot with somebody that comes in all the time.
It's definitely more of, I would say, that's a gun that someone who's just like a collector of guns should buy.
Yeah.
That should not be like, I don't want to say your only gun or like, if that's your gun for self-defense, I would maybe not reevaluate things, but...
Yeah, I would definitely I think about getting a more modern design for sure.
Yeah, yep.
Do we have any opinion on using CCI copper in an MP1522? Yeah, I say that's probably the only way to go. If you're going to shoot a semi-automatic 22, I always say the same things to people. I say high velocity ammunition is key, and I say don't use just plain lead bullets. Use something with a jacket or something that's solid copper or something that's not going to foul up your chamber too much, because those guns, they're just finicky and the ammunition is finicky, and those two things together can make you have a bad time.
I think unless you get into like the super high-end Ely or whatever, like the match grade ammo, we'll discount that. But as far as like normal ammo that most gun shops would have, I think CCI is the best of 22 stuff that's out there in general. But yeah,
I like the Agula stuff.
It's not bad.
I think the Agula stuff is good.
Yep.
And they make it in high velocity, and it's relatively inexpensive, and it's got the same copper jacketing type deal that the CCI has. But yeah, I think stingers and stuff like that are the best.
It's definitely one of those things that can be overwhelming as a new gun owner, that, okay, my gun's chambered in 22, so it can shoot any 22, which is true. On its face, it can shoot. You can load it and it will fire it.
Maybe only once though.
But but then you get into the nuances of, will it run well, and that can be interesting. That can be interesting. What else we got?
We have another couple guns up here to talk about while the chat is kind of quiet.
Yeah, bring them out.
So you brought down this gun, and we had another Kimber bolt gun here that everybody wanted to see it. And then they saw the price tag, and some people kind of balked at it. But eventually it did sell. Yeah. And these are really nice guns. If you know about bolt guns, then this is probably a good gun for you. So Kimber, they use a full-length Mauser style extractor, which, as you know, I don't know why I get all excited about those.
It's very nice.
For some reason I'm just really into those. It has the 3-position Winchester Model 70 style safety. So it's got this position that it's in now all the way forward is fire. It's got a position here all the way to the rear that locks the bolt and puts the gun on safe. Yeah, and then it's got a position here that puts the gun on safe without locking the bolt. So I really like the 3-position safety. It's got loopholed rings already on it. This is the L, so it's the long action version, and it's the Montana, so it's very, very light, really minimalist barrel contour here, and the stock is very very light as well. And so I think this whole rifle weighs something like under 7 pounds without an optic. I bet. It's pretty light.
If you're looking for something to hunt with, I mean, that's the rifle, in my opinion, to go with. Speaking of rifles,
$1,050 on that.
Joe Connor says, been thinking about getting one of those Barrett 50 cals. Is that legal to own? And yes, it depends, I guess, on which Barrett you're talking about and how you have it configured. So they make a bolt action, the M99, I believe. The bolt action, completely legal. You can do whatever you want with it. An 82 or a 107. You could own. You would just have to have the magazine locked, right? So I have not seen one, I guess, in person. I know I've studied mine, I guess. I could see how you could do it, where you could lock the magazine. It would require a very slight modification to the magazine release, but you could have it so that the magazine is permanently fixed in the gun, and you would have to hold the charging handle back. And luckily, at least, some guns, it's like an FAL is almost impossible. Like, you can own one as a collector if you want it, but to actually shoot it is darn near impossible. Or say like the AUG, right? Like, you lock the magazine in the AUG, you're done. The Barrett, you've got enough open bits there that when you pull that handle all the way to the rear, the charging handle, you can get your fingers in there and load 10 rounds, 5 rounds, whatever you'd want to load. So it is possible.
You think you could actually get them down, like, in...
I think you could. It would be very difficult, though.
I wouldn't want to stick my hand in there. You know what I mean?
I would almost want to have, like, one person just holding it back, and then I'm in there sideways, like, just finger effing them in there.
Yeah, I don't... so that just seems like a really...
Get Mean Arms to make a 50 BMG Mean Arms loader.
That would be something
awesome.
for the people, yeah. Or let's
so,
just get all these silly-ass laws repealed. So, guys, go support Gun Owners of America and Firearms Policy Coalition.
Absolutely.
And do your part to support the lawsuit printer that goes brrr every once in a while.
Hey, Dan, how are you? Are we freezing for anybody else? It does show, like, we're watching the stream here on my laptop, and it shows us freezing like crazy, but I don't know if that's just because we're far from the Wi-Fi over here or what. I don't want to keep, annoying you guys if we're lagging and freezing like crazy. Please let us know.
We got a lot of viewership engagement tonight, which is pretty cool. I appreciate everybody chatting with us.
Brandon, what's on the front of my shirt? Okay, I'll stand out here. So this is from See an Arsenal, right? So if you have not seen their channel,
all right, good.
That's a good one, right? See, so they spelled it. I just noticed they spelled it wrong. You'll see in a minute why they did. Arsenal should be spelled the correct, like, traditional way, but Curio and Relic, C&R, See an Arsenal, right? It's a channel on YouTube, and this dude, they go, like, deep into topics. So they'll do a video on an M1 Garand, and it'll be like a 3-hour video. And that'll be like, this is our intro to the M1 Garand. And it's not really about the rifle, but it's about, like, okay, so in 1909, John C. Garand was born, and he worked over here. And they just go, like, into the
history
of like, like, they argued about the rear sight and this and that. And, like, you will know more than you wanted to know. Every year they do a fundraiser for their channel, and they sell a bunch of different shirts. And this was from a couple years ago. So it says, God created man. Sam Colt could not spell this sentence. And they wrote it all like how someone who is illiterate would write. And the reasoning is, for those of you that don't know, Sam Colt, the prolific genius that he was, could not read or write. He was illiterate until the day he died. But damn, if he was not a genius. He invented the single action army, or whatever his first design was, at the age of like 13 or something like that, on a ship. Yeah, he was like on a ship, and he saw the ship's wheel and the mechanism of how it like operated, and was like, done.
Solved
it. What? Crazy. So yeah, they do a bunch of great ones. See an Arsenal. They're on YouTube. I don't know if you can buy them throughout the year, if it's like only when they do the fundraiser.
Sure,
but they come up with some pretty fun ones, and that was one that I've always enjoyed.
That is fun. I like it. So
cool. We're getting a lot of people that say that we're good. No freezing. So
looks
that's
like
cool.
Everything is cool. So we also have, and this was another one. I actually had a friend of mine reached out to me today and asked me, hey, do you guys still have the M1A over there? And I was like, honestly, I don't know. I haven't been in the store in a couple of days. But lo and behold, we still have an M1A. So this M1A is the New York State compliant version, which means there's no muzzle device on it, which kind of sucks. Does have the national match front and rear sights on it. And it's got a synthetic stock with a 10-round magazine.
Now,
so...
this is, I don't know if it was you or...
1749.
Someone made the comment that they were surprised Springfield made this just for us. Because this is pretty much... I mean, I do think this counts... Is this legal in California? I'm not sure. There's an overlap there, but it's not 100% Venn diagram overlap.
I think that actually in California you could still have the
muzzle device.
The muzzle
or whatever.
device.
Yeah, which is fucking stupid. So they did make this then just for New York, it seems like.
Maybe Connecticut,
which we've we've put it out there before, that I don't know, if New York further tighten the restrictions even more, maybe you have to do the micro stamping, right, to sell a handgun in New York State. I don't know. You know, we've talked about it before, and with California and their roster and things like that. Like, the companies, the industry has determined there's enough business that some companies are willing to play ball, but not every company and not every gun is available on the roster in California.
Right.
I don't live over there, so I don't know, but I know there are probably some very popular guns that people would buy, but the company doesn't want to deal with that. So
Right.
I don't know if the same would be true in New York, and it is cool to see at least Springfield in that rifle. They feel that it's worth making those. But
So
yeah.
also, for what it's worth, when I was putting that away, I did see the National Match 308 on the barrel as well. So it's got
Nice.
a National Match barrel, it's
That's
got a
cool.
National Match front sight, National Match rear sight.
Very accurate.
So I would imagine, yeah, it's probably going to be a very accurate rifle.
This is a question that maybe I should ask Tony from JRC. I would assume that the muzzle device really doesn't affect, because all the guys that shoot the national matches at Camp Perry, they all have regular ones.
Like
but is
crown
that
muzzles,
because
you
right? Well, no, like standard issue M14
Oh, like bird
styles.
cages and
Yeah,
shit?
yeah. Is that just because that's the way they've always been? I wonder, does that affect accuracy at all? You would think a crowned barrel would be better? Question mark? I don't know. There's some studying that should be done there.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
I think that probably it depends on the barrel, right? Because like,
Sure.
if you have like a Criterion barrel in one of those, and you have the
Sure.
traditional flash hider,
Sure.
I don't think you're going to see any degradation in accuracy versus a crown.
A crown, or like a
barrel,
target
you know
crown
what I'm
barrel.
saying?
Yeah. I guess those crowns, or like a target crown, exist to protect that very last bit of rifling.
Yeah, it's
And
mainly
that's what
like
a
for
birdcage would do
cleaning and for
anyways,
various,
like, yeah,
so you know,
So
that's for those kinds of things. But
neat. That was something I was.
yeah, guns are cool, man.
There's a lot to them.
I get super excited. So
Yeah.
today I was at the range outside for a little while, and when I was over there, I happened to be with a friend of mine, and we were talking about like optical gun sights on the pistol. He was like, I've
Yeah.
never tried one or whatever. So I handed him my SIGs. I just got that back from our friends over at Escarpment, and he was like checking out the optic, and he's like, I can never get my eye to like focus right,
Sure.
or I can never like get the gun up to the eye line and like see through the sight. And so I was like, well, you're doing it wrong, right? So you gotta like
You're just doing it wrong.
you just gotta look out there and then bring the sight up into your eye target line,
Sure.
and like you'll see it, right? And the first time he did that, he just like was looking, and then he just brought it up, and he was like, aha, like,
Yes.
just immediately
Yeah.
light bulb. Yeah, no, it's so cool to like when that happens.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? When you like learn some new little
And it just
tidbit of
clicks.
it, yeah, and
Yeah.
it just like changes everything. right?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well,
Absolutely.
I don't know, buddy. It seems like some of the questions are winding down. It's getting to be.
I think it's a good time to call it, man. This has
getting to
been
be
a good
about that
stream.
time.
We've had some good engagement. Yeah, I think this is a good
Yes.
good opportunity to end it. So, thanks everybody for watching. Brandon, good show.
Thank you. Good show yourself.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, and maybe we do a giveaway next week. Who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna go turn the machine off.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Later, guys.
End of video.